So you were curious and made some choices you repented. Perhaps you were brought up in a bad environment, which shaped you into doing things that were out of your control. Or maybe you found a way to cope with life challenges. Drug addiction is a battle many fight in silence. The cravings can be intense, the dependency overwhelming, and the shame can feel like a heavy weight you can never shed. A battle you tried to overcome, but things never turned out how you wanted them to, falling deeper down the rabbit hole, and the light of hope fades every time you fail to keep your discipline. But what if discipline wasn't the issue? What if you're using the wrong system? Or maybe you don't have a system in place at all, because if you want to break a lifelong addiction, then you can't expect to overcome it by facing it without a plan. But don't worry, because you're in luck. In this video, the Stoics, who were wise in human behaviors, who have mastered their own faith, and many of those who followed, will share the steps to overcome your addiction to drugs with these 5 principles laid down by the Stoics, a roadmap to guide people just like you who are struggling to find something that works. Stoicism isn't just a philosophy, it's a mindset, a way of seeing life and approaching its challenges with strength, courage, and control. Today, you can choose to break free from the chains of addiction and create a life that is stronger, freer, and filled with purpose. Know this: you are not defined by your addiction. There is a powerful way, and you have the power to change your life. The philosophy of Stoicism can be the key to unlocking that power. This ancient wisdom has helped countless people break free from their inner battles, and it can help you. So watch it till the end, because these 5 principles may just be what you need to hear now. Principle 1. You are the master of yourself. The greatest power you have is the ability to control your response to every situation. When addiction pulls at you, when the cravings feel like they're drowning you, remember, you cannot control the urge itself, but you can control how you react to it. Take a moment to breathe, to pause, and to reflect. The craving is only temporary. You can choose differently. Each time you resist, you become stronger. Every time you fight back against the urge, you win. And those victories, however small they may seem, will build up into something unbreakable. Principle 2, love your fate. Accepting what comes to you as accepting our circumstances, not as something that holds us back, but as something that gives us strength. Addiction may feel like a burden, but it is also an opportunity for you to rise above, to fight, and to transform yourself. Use the energy and time you created for yourself when you sustained from drugs to create another path of meaning for you. Do what you once loved or find another hobby. You may not have chosen this path, but you can choose how you walk it. With acceptance comes the power to act. With every moment of resistance, you are building self-discipline, a skill that will serve you for the rest of your life. Every small act of discipline adds up, creating the foundation for lasting change. Principle 3, kid who doesn't forget. People think that relapse occurs because of a trigger, a traumatic experience, environment, or people. But what people don't realize is the trigger often only raises our hunger for taking drugs. But what causes us to act, in the end, is our self-awareness. We reflect on when the sheer feeling of ecstasy hits us, when dopamine rushes through our bodies. We remember when it relieves us of pain for a brief moment, but we never think past the pleasure. We never start with the reflection of how taking the drug won't help, but rather it leaves us much worse afterwards. Addiction thrives in the darkness of unconscious behavior, but by shining a light on your choices, you reclaim your power. You are not a victim of your circumstances, but you have to have enough self-awareness to realize that for yourself, so every time you reflect on your journey, gain insight. Always think through before you act, and never fool yourself by thinking there won't be consequences for your action. Only with honesty of reflection could you gain stronger and more disciplined in the moments of adversity. Principle 4, challenges are not obstacles. Every struggle, every setback is a chance for you to grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Addiction is a battle, yes, but it's also an opportunity, a test of your strength, your courage, and your will to change. Many people succumb to the initial obstacles because they see the urge as a means of action, that if they don't fulfill that void, it will somehow consume them or even punish them. Rather, start to think of every craving as an opportunity to strengthen your resolve. Every time you face the temptation and resist, you pass. You are becoming the person you were always meant to be. You are not your addiction. You are someone with the power to overcome it, to conquer it, and to rise above it. Principle 5, life of virtue. Stoicism teaches us that true happiness doesn't come from fleeting pleasures, It comes from living a life of virtue, wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. These are the qualities that will guide you out of the darkness of addiction and into the light of a fulfilling, meaningful life. Addiction feeds on temporary pleasure, but virtue provides lasting fulfillment. By choosing to live a virtuous life, focused on wisdom, courage, and self-control, you create a life that addiction can no longer control. Each choice you make toward virtue is a step toward freedom. Find instant gratification in something you enjoy doing in life. Perhaps a passion that you once loved but gave away for the path of addiction. What pleasure has taught the Stoics is there are a lot of means to find that pleasure, and what may feel good now may also bring you down. Overcoming drug addiction is a journey, and it's not an easy one, but with these 5 principles, you will be equipped with incredible strength, because having the Stoics guide you, recognizing what you can control, practicing acceptance and discipline, reflecting on your choices, and focusing on virtue, you can break free from the cycle of addiction. Every moment you resist, every time you choose to move forward instead of backward, you are winning. You are building a life that is yours to create. But remember, you cannot avoid these urges forever. You must find purpose in the absence of your addiction. The Stoic principles will guide you long enough for you to be to yourself for once, to be clear in life. We will guide you till you find your purpose. But remember, lasting change can only happen once you find that light within. Go on and live today with more hope, with the feeling of might, because if you are still here to the end, then you are destined to win.